if you're not going to scale, if you're not going to grow, and I think we talked about this before, like I talked to Joey Albrighton, is like, if you're going to do a 1-person operation, okay, or you go to a 4+ person operation, you're going to die in the middle if you're trying to run 2 or 3 providers, because they're just... Yesterday's conversation, I interviewed Joseph Lowe. I know Dave's connected with him, and we talked about that. He's basically starting a PT supply company. It's called Pure PT Supply. This is not an endorsement. It's just the name of the company. And we were talking. There you go. Those are his bands.
One of his bands, yep.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it. Now, again, I'm like, how do we start the conversation where the patient is rather than where we want the patient to be?
Right.
A patient with low back pain isn't immediately thinking, I need physical therapy. They're not thinking, I need to hire Dave Kittle. They're thinking, my back hurts. I need this to stop. Maybe they're thinking, I want a massager. Maybe they're like a physical device, a seat, a massage gun. Maybe they're thinking, I need a cream, an ointment. I need Blue Emu or something like that. So I'm like, how do we inject ourselves in the conversation earlier? And I said, well, what if, and I don't know anything about Facebook ads, but I'm like, what if we run ads for products that target our ideal demographic, gets us into the conversation earlier? And Dave and I have talked about this for a decade, where it's like, all right, you have the physical product, you sell the physical product, maybe you make a little commission on that, enough to cover the cost of the ad. But then the next level of that is you sell the product with a digital product that I create. So it's like, you're going to buy a TENS unit. The TENS unit is $30. The TENS unit plus my digital course showing you how to use the TENS unit, where to use the TENS unit, plus stretches and exercises to supplement the TENS unit. That's $99. Or the premier offer is $300. You get a live one-on-one with me, either in person or through telehealth, virtually. You get the digital product that I created, and you get the TENS unit. But the idea is the physical product is what brings that person into the ecosystem. That's kind of where we were talking. That's what I was thinking.
A lot of this week is top of mind. My mom, in terms of physical products or stuff along this route, my mom this past week just spent. Let me ask you guys.
Okay.
Custom molded orthotics from some store, 3 sets. Guess how much?
So back in my day, it was $300 to do the blue foam, like imprint, get the custom orthotic, get it delivered and issued to the person. It was $300 for 1 pair of custom orthotics. And this is going back 15 or 20 years. So I've got to think $1,000.
Jimmy?
I was going to say less. I was going to say $600.
Try $1,600.
Wow.
And what's amazing, by the way, and Mom, if you're listening, it is what it is, Mom. She did pay briefly out of pocket for physical therapy, but she also has Medicare and said, I'd rather do Medicare physical therapy. Okay. Didn't really go down that route. Went to a brick and mortar place that did Medicare physical therapy, which is fine. Didn't opt to do the home Medicare physical therapy, basically for free. But so kind of, in my opinion, maybe penny pinches around the service part of it. But then the physical product side drops $1,600 at a place called the Good Feet store or whatever in South Jersey. So obviously they already had, the store is all just insoles and orthotics, and I guess they sell shoes, and they try to also sell her a pair of Brooks running shoes for $145. And I was like, I don't even pay $145 for Brooks running shoes. Maybe $120.
You're special, Dave.
Yeah, so it's wild how people will spend. They have some money and they're like, where do I want to really spend it? And some people will do the service, like my type of ideal client, and then other clients who my mom and my dad are not my ideal client, which is hilarious. They will then, I'd rather spend it on this physical thing. So Tony, this is right up your alley. And this is, we're going to get into it more, but it's a great idea. And especially Tony used to do this with the TENS unit and that whole offering that you were talking about. And you can have those 2 or 3 offers on the same landing page. So they click on the ad, they go to the landing page, and like Tony said, it could be first price for the TENS unit only. The second price, a little bit higher for TENS unit plus digital course. Third option, most expensive, TENS unit, digital course, and a custom like telehealth visit, in-person visit, whatever. So I'm not doing this right now, but I'm certainly reminded of it on how it can work and how I can maybe get some of these consumers that are not my ideal clients maybe migrate my way on the continuum.
Scott wants to know how they fit her for the orthotics.
I'll have to ask her specifically, but she said an imprint. So it sounded more than just I know there's some devices now where you can do like a digital scan, but it sounded like almost like the classic way, some type of a mold. And then from that mold, they made 3 sets while she was there, which is kind of impressive. I don't know how long she was there, but to sell 1,600, you have to have good marketing. You have to have a good sales pitch with the person who's helping you with this. My mom sent me a screenshot. They sent her even like a Google Calendar invite for like this appointment. So this is like all that is dialed in. Everything is legit. But to answer Scott's question, yeah, molded.
This just highlights the order of events, right? Like Costco's hot dog, right, has remained $1 for a billion years. Like if you're deciding where to shop that day and you're like, yeah, I could use a hot dog. I think, so they lose money on the hot dog, but they understand what to do to get you in. So I think it's a little bit different here because the physical product, I mean, some PTs, we've talked about this before, feel icky, like selling it. They'd rather just they'd rather just look over your shoulder and show you what to get on Amazon. And then that transaction is done. And that's fine. That is 100% fine. But this is a unique twist where it puts the product first, where normally we'd have our, Peace Corps gene and say, no, that's not going to help you. It's like, I don't know. It helps some people or else those things wouldn't sell. So can you use that attention? So like in every one of these models, attention comes first. It's just, what are you trying to shine the light on to get them in the door? The traditional manner is you put a giant sign outside your clinic, you write physical and therapy as big as you can. Maybe you put a caduceus, right? The staff with the snakes around it, that to show us like we are medical. We are not like those other guys, those snake oil salesmen, which is ironic, right? Our caduceus, a medical symbol, has 2 snakes on it. We don't sell the oil, just the snakes. But what you're doing is you're saying, hey, listen, if you're going to get this anyway, like here is a suggestion, by the way, ... So you're using this as your like, this is your taste test. If you're going to pick this poison anyway, I might as well be the one pointing you toward it. I can give you a good one. And then, by the way, if that didn't help or you want a digital product, which is PT Lite or Diet PT. And then if you'd like something in person, right this way.
Yeah, it's funny, for years, 20 years, that's all I did. I would put a sign on the front of the building that said physical therapy. It wouldn't have a name, it wouldn't have branding, it wouldn't have anything, because I was effectively a vending machine producing billable units to insurance company beneficiaries. Yeah. So I didn't want anything to interfere with that. I didn't want any personalization to it. I just wanted that vending machine sitting out there with the big sign that said, you can cash in your insurance benefits right here for physical therapy.
Right.
Now things are changing. Now there's no value, or there's less value in that kind of business model. If you're not going to scale, if you're not going to grow. And I think we talked about this before. Like I talked to Joey Albritton, is like, if you're going to do a 1-person operation, okay, or you go to a 4+ person operation, you're going to die in the middle if you're trying to run 2 or 3 providers, because there's just not enough money there to support what those providers need and take on the risk of hiring those providers. But this, bringing those physical products in. Now, you guys know, but for people watching, Amazon influencer, Amazon affiliate, like I've been doing that for over a decade. When I do a video, put it on the Amazon influencer video program. That video, the title of that video shows up in YouTube search and Google search, sorry. So I optimize SEO for that. And I've had people that are searching Google for products. They find the Amazon influencer video, and these are my patients. And they're like, oh my gosh, I was searching and I found you and your videos on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, I know that's intentional. But these are people that are looking for those products. We're just meeting them earlier in that journey.
Could you do like the twist too? Here's a crazy idea. Could you do 2 videos Dave, hold up those resistance bands again. Dave could do a video showing you 5 reasons why that resistance band is great. Dave could then have another video with different SEO about how this resistance band is the worst thing ever. Both of them have the link to the resistance band, and both of them eventually land on Dave's website if you're in New York City. So the goal is attention, right? Like that's what it is. David is saying you're a trusted professional. You're doing a disservice, David thinks, to your patients by not offering professional grade products in your clinic. David, thank you. I personally agree with you. When I walk into, if I'm hanging out with a triathlon coach and there's something that could have helped me, but they didn't offer it to me or suggest it to me, what do you do? What am I paying for? I thought I was paying for your extra expertise. I thought the stuff between your ears was the stuff I was paying for. If you thought there was a better seat for my bike that would make me, hurt less or more comfortable, and you didn't offer it to me. Now I understand where that line is, or where some people might feel bad, which is like, are you suggesting it because you get $10, or are you suggesting it because it's a good coach? Dude, that's everywhere, right? So be good. Like, an Amazon influencer program doesn't make people do shady things. Shady people are going to shade. Good people are going to do good things. So offer that out there. I don't know.
The one thing Tony was just talking about with putting videos on, and I've never done this, but I've seen Tony do it, and he's done it forever. He's one of the only physical therapists that does it. The fascinating sidebar of this is that consumers, I learned this through, I think Chad Madden mentioned this. Consumers like to stumble upon something. They have I don't know what it is. They have a feeling of like, I found this Easter egg, whatever. And then they pursue it sometimes more than if they were referred by a physician or referred by a running coach or the gym owner or word of mouth. And we know how powerful word of mouth is. But the idea of a consumer searching something on Google, they see a little thumbnail preview of a video from Amazon about the product or close to that product that they were looking for. They click into that. Now, all of a sudden, they went from Google to Amazon. There's only videos of this physical therapist named Tony Maritato. So obviously, he's incredible. We know he is. But obviously, it means he's got some credibility, authority, all that. The consumer clicks on it. Then they reach out to Tony. Maybe they're out of state and they want to do a telehealth visit or something. Tony, do you know what I'm talking? Like, I don't know. Or Jimmy, is there a term for this?
I think, and I might be bending this a little bit, but I feel like this falls under the IKEA effect. And the IKEA effect is people value things that they needed to put together. Like the Lego effect would be another thing. It's like, I feel a little bit better about this. I feel a little ownership because I put it together. And I think I'll get my buddy Jamie. What's that? Like I solved it? Yeah, it's like I have affinity towards this desk over here because I got it from IKEA and I put it together. So there's this attachment to it. I have a higher value because I put this together. Now, IKEA is smart. They make it real easy so idiots like me can't screw it up. So when I look at it, I don't look at it like Picasso put together a bookshelf. It looks like a normal bookshelf. But I think this is also the idea, or parts of the idea, of how misinformation and disinformation spreads. I heard from this guy. He seemed really convincing. I mean, look at some of the leaders, right? Like Alex Jones and InfoWars, like that's a TV quality $1 million set. And he's looking in the camera and he says it strongly. He says it over and over again. He says it with conviction. He gets other people to say it. So you take that person who's on the edge, who sort of thinks or wants to believe something, and you keep repeating it. Now it's in the middle of their belief system. So I think that's definitely part of it. Is I feel like everybody's going left and I'm not a sheep, man. I'm not sheeple. I'm going to go this way. So I think there is an effect. There is part of that. I'm going to say it's the IKEA effect. I'll have my buddy who's a psychologist at Jefferson in Philly correct me.
Yeah, I think there's that component. I think there's also just social proof. It's like, man, this guy is on Amazon. This guy is on YouTube. This guy is on TikTok and Instagram. He's everywhere. I think there's a level of social proof that goes along with that, where if it was a total fraud, somebody would have taken him down. And so there's that component to it. And going back to the process, so I think you enter the market with a physical product. And I shared recently, I can go into my Amazon analytics. I can look at the most popular selling products. And for me, by far, it's TENS units. The simple, cheap, analog, nothing fancy TENS unit. They sell more units than anything on Amazon for me. Then it goes into a little under desk pedal cycle. And then it goes into like the QB and a couple other devices. But I can use those analytics to guide my decisions and say, okay, I'm going to put some money behind TENS units. I'm going to create my ad copy. I'm going to, maybe I even work in the Clarity account. So now people can click and make a paid call through Clarity to me if they want to ask me questions and do things like this. And when we're talking about attention, growing social media, we have to realize, and every therapist comes back at me with, yeah, but what good is it if somebody in California watches my video when I'm in New York? Well, if you're only selling in-person services,
right,
there's not a lot of value to that. You get a couple pennies for some ad copy that, somebody else pays for to put on your channel. But if you have this valuable asset, you say, okay, I got people in California watching my content. What can I create of value for them? I can sell them the product with the commission. I can sell them the digital product. I can sell them the virtual, the telehealth, the voice only, the voice and video. I can put them on a continuity program. We haven't even talked about remote therapeutic monitoring.
Yeah.
Somebody buys my product. They buy the TENS unit. They buy the pulley. It's only a couple pennies I get in commission. But now if they come in, I start an RTM program. I do a virtual evaluation for them. I'm getting reimbursement, and we can talk about across state lines and the PT compact. It just layers on. Yes, there's some complexity, but at the same time, this is where the new opportunities open.
Hey, it's Dave Kittle. Are you a healthcare business owner or physical therapy practice owner who is looking to figure out your succession plan or exit strategy? We might be able to help. And in fact, we may be interested in acquiring your practice. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Shoot me an email at dave@conciergepainrelief.com. That's DAVE at CONCIERGE painrelief.com. Or you can call me at any time, 646-781-8884.